The Virginia man accused of murdering a Western New York school superintendent is set to stand trial this week. A New York Democratic leader is reacting to Congressman Tom Reed's misuse of campaign funds. Plus, the 93rd annual Miss America pageant took place Sunday night in New Jersey. Find out who won.
Good morning, Twin Tiers. This is WENY HD News.
Good morning, Twin Tiers. Happy Monday to everybody. Thanks for joining the show. I'm Joe Malillo.
And I'm Laura Casa. Thanks for joining us. Of course, joined by meteorologist John Hickey with a look at the forecast. And it's going to get chilly.
You know, a little unsettled here to start the week. Beautiful weekend, though.
Yeah, it was great.
Absolutely gorgeous from like Saturday afternoon on. Pretty much picture perfect. A little unsettled here as we get back to work, back to school, but I think we'll like the forecast as we go through the week.
All right.
So let's
show us what you got.
I'll show you a thing or two that I got rolled
cards.
up my sleeves up this morning. I'd be a terrible poker player anyways. First morning forecast here this morning. Temperatures fairly pleasant for this time of year in the morning. Still 53 in Elmira, 53 Corning, and 53 up in Penn, 51 in Ithaca. You're going to have to subtract about 15 or 20 degrees from this to get your temperatures at this time tomorrow. So enjoy the relative mild conditions we have out there this morning. There's some green coming across the maps. That's some light rainfall that we saw overnight continuing to move off to the southeast, but I think we're still in for a few isolated showers, much like what we saw early on your Saturday. So expect that, but this afternoon brings more in the way of sunshine. But for the morning, at least through about midday, expect considerable cloudiness, isolated showers. Temperatures slow to warm today. We've only got a 5-degree guarantee of 61 degrees, but your forecast for the rest of the week looks pretty good. But we've got details on a frost advisory in effect for tonight. That all comes your way in 10 minutes.
All right, thanks very much, John. Well, we begin this morning with breaking news overnight out of Tioga County. Pennsylvania State Police are looking for a woman in connection to a homicide in Liberty Township. Police say it happened sometime between Friday and Sunday on Route 414. 82-year-old Oliver Litzelman and 81-year-old Edwina Litzelman were assaulted and found Sunday morning by a family member. State police say Oliver was found dead and Edwina was injured and then airlifted to a hospital. State police are looking for a white middle-aged woman, possibly driving a green sedan. Anyone with info is asked to call the Pennsylvania State Police at 570-662-2151.
Well, the Virginia man accused of murdering a Western New York school superintendent is set to stand trial this week. Jury selection is scheduled to begin tomorrow for the second-degree murder trial of Anthony Taglianetti. He's the man accused of killing 51-year-old Clymer superintendent Keith Reed Jr. at his home in September 1 year ago. U.S. Marshals arrested Taglianetti 8 days later in Virginia. They say Taglianetti thought his wife was having an affair with Reed. Reed once worked as an assistant principal in Horseheads and Campbell Savona schools. Back in December, Taglianetti pled not guilty in Chautauqua County Court. His bail was set at $2.5 million.
Well, new this morning, a New York Democratic leader is reacting to Congressman Tom Reed's misuse of campaign funds. John Hurley, chairman of the Ontario County Democratic Party, he plans to file 2 complaints with federal officials regarding Reed's use of campaign funds to pay property taxes. As we reported, Reed says the mix-up was, quote, an unfortunate clerical error, and he says he takes full responsibility. But Hurley said the error demonstrates a, quote, lack of discipline and a lack of personal responsibility, end quote, by Reed. Separate complaints will be filed with the Federal Elections Committee and the Office of Congressional Ethics. The payment to Steuben County Treasurer was for property taxes on Reed's Finger Lakes vacation home along Cayuga Lake.
Well, a Dryden man is behind bars in connection with the child pornography scandal. 67-year-old Powell Magnum was arrested for 2 felony counts for allegedly making child pornography. He's in Tompkins County Jail this morning on $100,000 bail. And if you're a Northern Tier resident, get ready to press more numbers and maybe remember new numbers. The Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission says they've run out of phone numbers with area code 570. So that means some changes to the way Valley residents dial out. Starting Saturday, people living in the 570 will always have to dial 10 digits instead of just 7, even to make local calls. And on October 13th, new lines or new service in the region will get the new 272 area code instead. Customers who only dial 7 numbers will hear a recording asking them to hang up and try again using 10 digits.
Low-income housing could be coming to the Finger Lakes region if Governor Cuomo's plan goes through. Now, the plan is to create low-income housing for 5,000 Medicaid recipients struggling with significant health care needs. Housing units are planned for New York City, Monroe, Broome, and Erie counties, and in the Finger Lakes region. Units will be built using Medicaid savings, and that money came from Cuomo's Medicaid redesign team. The housing will provide a stable and healthier home environment for New Yorkers suffering severe health concerns and problems that don't require hospitalization. The first phase will spend nearly $47 million to construct 12 new buildings over the next 18 months. A new study from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention show e-cigarette use among middle school and high school kids doubled last year. This is latest data concerns health officials who say the effects of long-term use of the product is still unknown. E-cigarette use is controversial. Some say it's better than real cigarettes because users can get vaporized nicotine without the toxic chemicals. Others say there's no evidence of the safety for using electronic cigarettes. The report showed that 1.78 million middle and high school students have tried an electric cigarette at least once last year.
Well, new regulations now allow New York animal lovers to spend eternity with their pets. The Daily News reports that officials have finalized rules allowing pet cemeteries to accept the cremated remains of humans. The cemeteries can bury pet owners' ashes as long as they don't charge a fee for it and don't advertise human burial services. New York's Division of Cemeteries put a halt to human burials at pet cemeteries in 2011. The state later relaxed the ban on a limited basis and began working on permanent rules.
How about one last trot for the horses at Tioga Downs as the racetrack closes down for the season. The Tioga Downs 2013 racing season came to a finish on Saturday night. A familiar favorite won again at the track. It was the 10th win of the season and 9th of which has come from at Tioga Downs for East End Eddie, who was named 2013 Pacer of the Year at Tioga Downs, making it 2 years in a row for the trainee Ron Burke. 2013 year-end awards were also handed out on Saturday night, wrapping up its 8th racing season. The 2013 Driver of the Year, that was Jimmy Moran Jr. for the second consecutive year. Trainer of the Year, Jamie Paquette, and Trotter of the Year, Aruba Vacation, and Pacer of the Year, like I said, East End Eddie for the second time.
A national story now. The historic flooding and raging waters in Colorado mean desperate rescues as the sun rises this morning. The weather turned bad for choppers yesterday. Even guardsmen and first responders couldn't even be rescued and waited out the night on higher ground. Nearly 19,000 homes have been damaged or destroyed. The floodwaters stretch across parts of 15 counties, almost 200 miles from north to south. This morning, more than 1,000 people are displaced and have packed into more than 24 Red Cross shelters. Coming up in our second half hour, we hear what authorities are saying now and, of course, if any progress has been made.
All right, let's take a look at some of the stories you'll be reading in today's Star Gazette. Suffering from hay fever? Well, it may not be hay. Ragweed pollen could be the problem. The final concert in the summer series was held Sunday at Brand Park. Find out, see pictures, and find out more. Virginia man was accused of driving hundreds of miles to upstate New York to kill a former local educator, a story we brought you earlier in our show. And when you read the Star Gazette, make sure to check out John's 5-degree guarantee. All right, it's 6:08 here on your Monday. When we come back, big news for New Yorkers. Miss America is from Syracuse. We have a recap of last night's big pageant and more about the winner after the break.
Very exciting. Plus, meteorologist John Hickey has your first warning weather right after the break as well. You're watching WENY HD News. Stay with us.